Hey, I'm Pastor Steve, ready to answer your questions. When did Christmas get so ridiculous? So we want to answer some of your questions. Did Christmas really happen on the 25th of December? Was that the date Jesus was born? And when he was born, was he really put in a manger? Are these facts, or are they just a bunch of cool little additions that have been embellished over the years to make this wonderful story even more wonderful? And why do we really care? Well, I think we care because Christmas surely is the best time of year. I mean, I think it's the time of year when humans are the closest to being the humans we're intended to be. Most people love Jesus of Christmas. Think about Ricky Bobby, one of my favorite theologians in that great movie Talladega Nights, where he prays to his favorite version of Jesus. And who's his favorite version of Jesus? It's the little baby Jesus that's found in a manger at Christmas time. Little baby Jesus is so palatable and so wonderful and so beautiful and so easy to handle. Cal Norton's Jesus, well, he's a bit like the self-made Jesus, you know. He likes all the things that Cal Norton likes. He likes Lynyrd Skynyrd concerts and he likes getting hammered drunk. Bit unlikely. And then we got conservative old Chip, who just loves old man Jesus with a beard. And he's a bit more serious. So which is it? And why would we care? Well, we care because this is one of the most important stories of all time. And if we can prove that the facts that we think make up this story aren't facts at all, then why are we all getting together and having all the bother of buying all these presents and having this huge feast and having this massive thing called Christmas? Well, there are facts to this story. Let's take the first one. Was Jesus really born in a manger? I mean, come on. The Bible actually says that. It actually says that this baby, which was going to be the Prince of Peace, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, God incarnate, come to earth to bring about a relationship back with humanity, was put in a manger? Well, we can actually trust that one. The earliest accounts use a word in the Greek, kataluma, which probably meant guest room. It can be interpreted as an inn, but in the New Testament, it's never used like that. The reality is that Joseph and Mary most probably went to Bethlehem in order to do the census. They were probably there for a couple of months. They were most probably staying with a relative, but because there wouldn't have been enough room, they would have been staying out in some sort of covering where the animals would have stayed as well. In ancient societies where there wasn't much room, it was very normal for animals to be brought in the evening to keep warmth as well as to keep the animals alive. So that's not an implausible part of the story. Jesus was placed in a manger. It's one of the key facts recorded in the Gospels about Christmas. Now, December 25th, this is a very different one indeed. No one even thought about what Jesus' actual birthday was for hundreds of years after Jesus was born. In fact, the earliest recorded historical discussion we have on this issue is about 200 AD or BCE, which means for 200 years, no one cared what Jesus' birthday was. And then all of a sudden, when they decided we should care, it was too late. Like many historical facts, you just have no way of knowing that date. But the debate began, and there are theories upon theories upon theories. We've got John 1, where it says Jesus was born, and he uses the word tabernacle, so people think it's the Feast of the Tabernacles. We've got a predicted date for every date. Some of our mathematicians like to take Zechariah and the priestly order that he was in and work out when his priestly order was serving in the temple so that we can work out when Elizabeth's conception was, and then we can work out 6 months after that, of 9 months after that, in order to get John the Baptist's birthday and then Jesus' birthday. But, of course, he served multiple times in the temple and probably served in the feasts as well outside of his normal rotation. So we just don't know the date. Why do we do it on the 25th? Well, it's a simple fact. When Christianity overtook the Roman Empire, one of the Roman emperors around 336 realized, we don't want to be killjoys. There's this huge pre-existing party where we celebrate the sun god just after the winter solstice, and everyone loves that party. Now, we can either tell them they're not allowed to have it anymore because we're Christian now, or we can replace it with a good and awesome celebration, Christmas. And that's what they did. I have no problem celebrating Christmas on the December the 25th because the story of Jesus, even though it's got some embellished facts over time, if you look at the original story, it is enough. It is the great, most life-changing story there ever was. The God of the universe who created all things cares enough about you and me that he would enter the world to save us. And he did it as a child in humility so that he could live the life we lived, die the death we will die, but show us a way that we can resurrect with him one day. And that is the story we're celebrating. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us today. Hope you enjoyed Ask a Pastor, and feel free to subscribe if you want to see when the next ones are coming out or any more questions. Hey, don't forget to email us anytime you want and put your questions forward. We would love to answer them as well. Have a fantastic day.